The time is now 6:07 here on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Obviously, we're getting clear skies all throughout central Georgia, but like you mentioned earlier, the flooding still a major concern, especially in Lawrence County.
Yeah, and it can be deceiving because the areas that didn't necessarily see the extremely heavy rainfall, that's just where the water has to move through to get down to the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico. So that's what we're going to be watching for here over the course of the days ahead. Looking live over downtown this morning, we do have temperatures in the 50s and 40s, 50 now in Macon and in Warner Robins, 49 in Perry, 52 in Dublin, and 50 in Milledgeville. How about 50 in Wrightsville as well? 46 in Monticello, 46 over in Forsyth, 48 in Roberta, and 43 now in Thomaston. All of these temperatures some 10 to 15 degrees colder than we were this time yesterday morning. The boundary, the cold front, was just to our south yesterday morning, and now it's moved even further south, and that is allowing the cooler air to be ushered into central Georgia. So spinning around from Jeffersonville, looking for any rain this morning, not having much luck in finding any. Over the past 5 days, though, we had a ton of luck in finding some. Close to 6 inches rain here in Macon, 8 inches in Lamar County. Down to the south, though, yesterday, this is where we added to these totals. Generally speaking, the rain was along and south of Interstate 16. So obviously that has done a number to our rivers. We do have one spot in major flood stage right now, the Ocmulgee River, and minor flooding here in Macon, and that's moving south as well. So let's get some more details here. The Flint River in Carsonville crested in moderate flood stage at 34.4 feet yesterday morning. Just downstream in Montezuma, it's on the rise. 10.8 feet is where it's at right now, expected to get to 23.2 feet by tomorrow evening. That is minor flood stage. And then the Ocmulgee River here in Macon crested at 27.8 feet yesterday morning. That's moderate flood stage, now down to 24.4. Over on the Oconee River in Milledgeville, the river flood warning has been dropped because the current level has now dropped to 18 feet after cresting at 30 feet. Downstream below the city of Oconee, cresting now at 25.2 feet. That is major flood stage. And then even further downstream in Dublin, up to 15 feet, forecasted to get to 26.6 feet by Friday evening. That is moderate flood stage. So we are continuing to watch all the rivers, also watching Hawkinsville and Abbeville for the Ocmulgee River. We'll have more details on that coming up a little bit later in the show. But for later today, we're going to be talking about this northerly wind continuing, 60s across central Georgia by the noon hour. And then once we get later into the afternoon, perhaps mid to upper 60s across the area. I'm going with a high right around 66, but then into the overnight, here come the 40s once again here in central Georgia, low 40s at that before we make it back into the 70s tomorrow afternoon. But as for today, we will gradually warm from where we are right now through the 50s over the course of the next several hours. 61 by 1 p.m., 66 as the high. It's the coolest we've been in the past few days under partly cloudy skies. Sunrise comes your way at about 7:27. As for the weekend, I've got 80 for Saturday with a 40% chance of rain. I know we've got the Banana Pudding Festival on Saturday over in Irwinton. By no means is it a washout, just a rain chance. And then once we get to Sunday, cooler with a high temperature of 72. And there's the 7-day forecast. So only a 40% chance of rain on Saturday over the course of the next 5 days. So good news on the river flooding front with temperatures back into the 80s, but then comes that Saturday rain chance, and then once we get into next week, a 10% chance of rain for Monday and Tuesday.